Hey guys, and welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're jumping back into some more FTB Skies. And as you can see behind me, we're going to be collecting ether gas. Well, aka wither farts. Hopefully you guys are ready. Now today, we're going to be getting a little bit industrial, and we're kind of going to move a little bit away from the magic stuff that we've done with the Botania the last couple episodes. This episode, we are going to be diving directly into ether gas. Yeah, we're gonna be collecting wither farts. That's honestly going to be the title of today's video, is literally collecting wither farts. But I hope that with this setup, you guys will be able to complete your challenge. Or I'm going to be trying to complete my challenge here of collecting ether gas. Now you get some experience, but you do get an everlasting gluttony pool if we just gather these few resources, which we already have almost all of them from the end, and then Dash is super easy to collect once we go to space. So after today's episode of collecting ether gas, we will be able to get an everlasting gluttony pool, an infinite mana pool, which is insanely powerful, giving the mods that are in here. This will mean infinite as far as like mana goes. It'll be power. We can generate power with mana. We can do tons of things with mana. And having an infinite amount of it just seems absurd. Now, let's get to that point. The first thing we are going to need is going to be a stasis chamber. Now, we are going to have to power the stasis chamber with a point, and I'm going to explain here in a moment what the stasis chamber does, but just to sort of get these things in our head of what we're going to need, we're also going to need a fluid laser base, and so I can go ahead and get that auto-crafted. This should take literally a moment, and there we go. So there is the fluid laser base. We are going to literally be using a laser on a wither and collecting its wither gases. Yeah, so basically wither farts. And that is going to lead us into the laser drills as well. So we're going to need 4 laser drills just to kind of get base started with the laser base. Now, the laser drills, you can always add more later. We'll talk about that here soon. But for right now, this will be the basis of starting with ether gas collection. Now, another thing I'm going to need, I can't look over, and I literally set up an automated recipe just for this, but that's a lens, and very specifically, a purple lens. Looks like we're going to need purple dye, though. I did not automate that. So, if we just search purple, thankfully we did get into Botania, so it's as easy as that. There we go. And so this will quickly craft up a lens. It should already be done, and that's the only other thing we're going to need aside from I'm setting up points and going to use the transfer nodes in order to transfer the power around. So let's set this bad boy up. It is not too difficult to do. Let's find the center of the room. We'll use this entire place for this, and right here we can go ahead and set up our stasis chamber. That is going to go right here. Of course we need to build a wither, but we should wait first and instead set 3 blocks. I'm going to set 3 blocks correct just like that. Let's go ahead and build up a little bit. 3 blocks high, and then above that will be where we actually place our laser base. Now, connected to this, we can put our drills right next to this. They can be right up on this. No big deal where they're placed. Except for we don't want them placed on their side like that. I don't know why they're being placed on their side. But we definitely want to like be facing it when we place. And we can have it just directly connected. Now, you can have it 1 block away if you want, or you can leave it like this. It really doesn't matter. They can be connected so long as you can see right here, the work area, so long as the base right here is within the work area, or so long as the fluid laser base is within that work area, it'll work. And so, yes, you can make an entire cube of this setup. It will work. And the more you have, the faster it'll go. So that is something to keep in mind. I'm going to go ahead and place that in, and we can shut off this work area. There we go. And let's get power hooked in and get our laser in. Now, the laser that goes right here, we just need to specify what it is. The depth doesn't matter, and the biome doesn't matter. All it wants is a wither right now. Now, here we go with setting up our power. Same thing we've done before. We place our power in with our node on top, make sure it's set to our network. Also, we need to make sure that this is chunk loaded, and we want to make sure of that because if this runs out of power and there's a wither on it, well, let's just say that wither will then escape and probably destroy the entire setup that you just spent all that time building. Now, I want to use a ender tank, and let's go ahead and set up a pipe right here to pipe the fluid out into this ender tank. Then we'll transfer the ender tank fluid into some other storage in the overworld. So let's go ahead and do this. Also, probably want to set that to single block so I don't break like I almost just did. Yeah, we're just about ready to go. Let's GPS this to define what we're working with. So now the middle one right here, this doesn't need power. These are the ones that need power. And then also the stasis chamber. So make sure that, I would say if this does work with priorities, I would say make sure the stasis chamber is always first, even though if we ran out of power, we're really going to be in some trouble anyways. I don't think it matters all that much, but I'm going to put it here just in case. So the stasis chamber should be working, and if we go into it, as you can see, we get hit with some slowness, and we have to kind of jump out to kind of get out. We can see that area defined as this, and it's just as simple for us as building a wither now. So let's build a wither on top of the stasis chamber. Get out of that range. There we go. I'm going to need another stair step. And as soon as we get this wither going, I'm excited. I haven't even put the upgrades in, but we can go ahead and get this started. And there we go. So you'll notice the wither bar, the building bar, is gone. It does not need the building bar in order to work. Now, what should be happening is we should see progress happening on these. And then inside of the main machine, if we step up here, inside of the main machine, we should have fluid building up. And you can see the amount right there is at 20. This is a pretty slow process, but can be dramatically increased. And that is what we're going to work on next. By the way, I have an unbreaking, what looks like 8 book, and I just made another Charm of Flight. So I wonder how much durability this actually takes when it has that much unbreaking on it. Like, this thing has got to be like, this has got to last way longer than normal. Now, thankfully, I have all of these auto-crafted. So these are the speed add-ons, and we're going to need all of them to make this faster. But it really gets interesting when we make more and more of these. So at the moment I forgot we're in the spawn location. Let's reset our spawn location. I gotta just do this. There we go. Now on here, inside these machines, we can go ahead and apply the max. But we're going to notice that even at the max, it is not crazy fast. Like, this up here is not going to be filling up like at any sort of ridiculous speed or anything like that. Not anything crazy noticeable. As you can see, we're getting like looks like 10 millibuckets every second or so, and we want to make this quite fast. We need 100 buckets of this, so if we sat here and waited that long, it would take quite a while. So I think it's time to make more laser drills. Now here's where the fun begins. I should be able to just simply place these in any real order. Oh, you hear the fart? Yep, that's the wither gas. Yep, we're definitely getting that done. So yeah, we're gonna place these all in, boop, like that. And then even right here, I should be able to take a look at its range, and just so long as that middle bit fits in that range, this should all work. So I have just enough to get this whole section done. And let's go ahead and turn this one off. Oops. This one off. And then I'll get all of the upgrades put in to each one of these. And we've effectively tripled our speed, or should have tripled our speed, because we have 3 times as many machines. So I'll now have all of them powered. And now we should see a noticeable increase. Yeah, there we go. And it's still going to take a little bit of time, but at least we have this up and running. That's all that matters. Now let's get this ender tank connected in the overworld into a much larger tank. And this is as simple as literally just taking your ender tank and slapping it on top and flipping this fantastic button. And as you can see, we're already building up quite a bit. And since it's right here next to our other system, we can go ahead and just attach another external storage. And that external storage will be able to provide us with ether gas that we can use for further automation with industrial foregoing. Now, currently I am collecting the farts of said wither, but I think we can go even further with this fluid laser. And we have it generating pretty fast. We can use this to generate lava for us. Believe it or not, and we can generate a ton of lava, to be exact. To get that done, we just need a couple of things. And, well, we're going to need a laser lens. And let's take a look at lava, for example. Let's just look at lava. So lava in JEI is going to pull this up. And there's a lot of different interesting things here, but one of them is the laser fluid drills. Now, we notice that the orange is the one that will generate it. And I already have a brown laser lens. I got this from the quest. So we can just dye that and get ourselves an orange one. Now, it does sort of say here that it's going to generate 100 millibuckets per operation. And that will equal quite a bit if we can get this thing going fast. Just like we are doing with the ether gas, we can do the same thing with this and set up multiple laser drills on it. Now, I think using this up here is going to be pretty sick. We already have this set up. So why not place a fluid laser right here and then get all of these connected to it? Like, I think this is the perfect place for it. Oh yeah, and we can call this collecting nether farts, right? Or nether. We're collecting nether lava. Yeah. So it does have to be the nether. This is the nether, as you can see. And well, let's go ahead and get this set up the exact same way. I'm just going to hook up my power nodes and then hook up our inner tank with a cable. Now, I want this to actually start producing down a little bit lower. As you can see right here, it doesn't look like it's generating anything. So we have to get this depth down below Y level 20, at least with this particular thing. So we've got to tick this all the way down to 20, but no lower than 5. So down under here, let's just do 15, and that should generate lava. I don't know if it has to wait till the next process, but there we go. As you can see, it just generated 100 millibuckets of lava. Now, this has plenty of power. As you can see, everything's working and doing as it's supposed to, but we still haven't put the upgrades in here. So once the upgrades are in, we should be producing a little bit lava. Yeah, a little bit more lava, a little bit faster. Now the goal would be to produce, roughly 1,000 millibuckets every second. That would be a real nice goal. So to get to that point, it is going to cost a little bit of power for these laser drills, because by default, they only consume, I think, 100 FE per tick, but these now use 1,000 a tick to do this. So, I mean, at the moment, this is producing a little bit more lava than we're currently generating, and it's free. So you can't beat that. Now, I almost missed a small detail, and this actually will work for the ether gas one as well. We can put 2 processing upgrades and an efficiency upgrade in here. And yes, there is a difference between putting 1 processing upgrade and 2. You may not notice it in the bar, but you do notice it in the output. So it is now spitting it out, and you notice it's not filling this tank up. That's because it's being used to produce obsidian, in which we probably should cap the amount of obsidian, because we don't need a whole lot of obsidian. And then we can just build up the amount of lava that we have. Now, because I have a bunch of obsidian, I should be able to shut this off. Hopefully it doesn't shut this one off. It at least shuts the tank off, and then we don't have to worry about this sending fluid to it anymore. This is still producing. This just won't receive lava anymore. Now that we have that ether gas, this would be the moment of truth. Let's get our lava going into a supreme black hole tank. So to make this, you see right here, ether gas is required, and all of these ingredients. So if I put this in here, that should be all we need to automate this particular thing. So all of these items are going to be required in order to produce this. All the 3 different fluids, but it goes pretty fast. So it's going to go through this, then it'll go through the next one as it provides. There you go. And then the next thing you know, we're sending ether gas into this to be used. Pretty ridiculous. And then we get a tank that is literally infinite. This is an infinite tank right here. And so I can just go ahead and hook this in. And this is our lava, right? That's building up. You can see it's in there now. And then let's go ahead and flip this. And now our lava is going to enter into this tank. And here's our 3 main fluids that we use for just about everything outside of water, which we use a block for. and then I'll just get another one of these hooked in. So with that, we have extended our lava, and the good part about this is later on we can actually set up a truly infinite lava source, but it does require a entire like 20 by 16 by 16 area filled up. It does take a lot to fill that up, and it's going to need a bucket for that whole area. So kind of ridiculous, but for now we're going to have this generating, and I'm going to get my other setup that uses netherrack hooked back up as well. Now I'm going to set up an array of mechanical squeezers here, and let's see, all we have to do is get connected in here. Let's grab our shrinking device. This is where it comes into play yet again. Make sure we shrink down. Oh, guess you got to click in the air. And we need an exporter to export into this, and we are going to export netherrack. Then I'm going to use pipes to send from here. So we're not using a bunch of exporters. It'd be much better to just use logistical transporters to fill this whole area, and then set our configurator to pull, and that should fill all of these inventories, or at least so I hope. I don't think they have to go to the top. Yeah, no. They're going to fill this first, and then they're going to spread out through all of the other ones and sort of round robin. Now, to get the fluid out, it's going to be the exact same thing. We're going to use pipes to get the fluid out. So, pipe, which I just put back in here on accident. We're going to send this all to an ender tank that's going to go right down here onto the concrete. So, ender tank, and then all of our fluid pipes. Probably best with the fluid pipes to actually use the configurator on them while you're putting them in. That way it'll save you a little bit of time trying to figure out and wiggle into this little space to configure these properly. But if all goes well, we should be able to pull the lava out once these are done. And there we go. We have even more lava being produced. This is not incredibly fast to do, but we'll get the job done. Also, I think this GPS was the wrong one. There we go. And now we should be locked and loaded and ready to go. There we go. Back to full power. And we have even more lava being produced every so often. Now we are very close to completing some tasks here. All we need is a fluid pipe. We can go with this speed for right now. And let's go ahead and set up our screen over here for this. And we'll select our task of being ether. This is pretty crazy. We'll select this. And now we have 100 buckets in there. And that's exactly what this process needed. And then as far as the power requirement goes, we can try and do all of the power requirements. But for right now, 10,000, I think, is one of them. Have we already completed this? We have completed that. And then what was the next one? 100,000? I think that's what this requirement is. Either way, we can put that on here, get this hooked up. So this is the just getting started one. What's the one we are actually looking to do? It's this one, 100 million. So the 100 million will take a little bit more time, but honestly, this thing is going to be producing, yeah, it's maxing out. Let's make sure to make the priority on this -1. So that way everything else that needs power should get it before this gets it. And then that should fill up in no time, as you can see right there. I guess this right here really goes to show how much energy our gas burning generator is going to actually produce. It's producing 72,000 just on its own. So yeah, that's quite significant. And there we go. This isn't even my final form. But these two should be completed. Right? Both of these are completed. Oh, do we have to complete this line first before? I guess there are prerequisites that we have to do. Yes, we do have to do 1 million powers. 1 million powers. So we have to complete this, I guess, to be able to do this one. So let's actually complete this one too, because we have 1 million and we have latex. That's pretty simple. So 1 million FE should be in here. 1 million. There we go. And that one will start filling up. And then let's change this task screen to latex. And then I will just pipe the latex over. just like we just did. So I'll hook this in, make sure to disconnect this. I don't know how to disconnect. There we go. I guess that works. Did that put the wrong fluid in there? Nope, it's going in. It's going right. There we go. And now the latex is flowing in. And we've done it. So we got this completed. So now it does look like we have to complete some other tasks. So yeah, somewhere out there has to be completed. So you do have to go in a line, even though they're not connected. We have to complete this one, this one, this one, and this one in order to get to that beautiful mana pool that I'm so wanting. Now there is one other part of this mod that is absolutely fascinating to me, and that is the Enchantment Extractor. So we do need to set up the autocraft for this, but the Enchantment Extractor is one of the most powerful things in this pack, in my opinion. It allows you to rip enchants off of any item that you give it. So if you want something that is crazy powerful, all you got to do, look no further to finding something that has a really high potency enchant. For example, like an Unbreaking, for example. We surely can find something that has a high Unbreaking. This has an Unbreaking 4, right? And I believe we have a fishing rod that we got as a quest that has a really high Unbreaking. Some of these have higher protection. There's a protection 5 on it. We can rip these enchants off, and we can actually store them in a block that we might be able to craft. Well, we won't be able to craft just yet, but we will be able to craft once we get into more apotheosis enchanting, as if we weren't powerful enough. So let's go ahead and place in our Enchantment Extractor. And then of course, make sure we set this to be pull, and then make sure we set the output. By the way, there's going to be two different outputs. One is Enchantment Items, one is Enchantment Books. So this will be where the item goes, and we also want that to be pushed, and we want both of these to be pushed into this inventory. As far as books, we can also say pull from this chest, and that'll get it going. So let's get a GPS on here and give it some power, and then we should be good to go. So there we go. We have given it some power. Let's grab some books, toss that in, and let's just take, for example, like some of these pieces of gear that we have, and we can go ahead and put the books in. That's going to automatically pull in, and then we can go ahead and take these items that we get from our mob farm and stuff, right, and put them in and get the books, and everything gets output over here. That is just, it's too nice. It's honestly too nice, especially with apotheosis. These two mods combined together, yeah, definitely make the game way more fascinating. So let's just take a brief look at our Armory Cabinet with a integrated dynamics table on here. So let's also make the grid a little bit larger. There we go, so we can see the items better. Let's go to item mode. And we have a couple of pieces in here, nothing major actually. This is one that's enchanted. So from this particular like area, we don't get a lot of gear, believe it or not. Yeah, you would think that you'd get a lot of gear, but they've a lot of the gear has been reduced. And the majority of the gear that we do get that is enchanted seems to come from looting. For example, if we search apotheosis, we're going to see a lot of that gear that we grabbed when we were in the end, and vice versa. And we're going to be able to take all of this stuff and rip as many of the enchants off as possible. Because I want the books. I don't care for the enchants being on the gear. I'm not going to use them. They're useless on this gear. We're also going to be disassembling a lot of this gear very soon, because it's required for us to do that here in this section. And actually moving forward, we're going to have to disassemble some of the rare material gear. So just with the minimal gear that I've already put in here, you can definitely see that there's experience boost. We've got mana regen, all of this stuff making you even more powerful than you really need to be for a skyblock. Now, Industrial Foregoing has a little trick up its sleeve that I think we're going to be working on here soon-ish. But now we have ether gas, so we have the ability to do that. And that is the Mycelial Generator. And this thing can produce, I've hinted at it a little bit throughout the episodes, but the Mycelial Generator, as you can see right here, is kind of expensive. It does cost all of this and also need this to make. But you need every other generator listed here, all the ones that have mycelial in the name, and you need to have them all functioning, all running and generating power. And then once that happens, this generator, the reactor, will actually start producing 25 million with the pinky up against your cheek. Million RF per tick, or FE per tick, right? That's a lot, and I can't wait to set that up. It's basically like a rainbow generator, if you're familiar with that from back in 1.12 with extra utilities. So guys, with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope you learned something new. If you're just now diving into Industrial Foregoing, I hope you enjoyed your experience thus far. And if you're a veteran, of course, you probably knew all this already, and you're just watching to hear the fart noises. Yeah. But guys, I hope you enjoyed. Of course, if you haven't clicked that subscribe button already, which I'd be surprised if you haven't, I would appreciate it if you would. And also give this video a huge thumbs up. And guys, well, the board that's over here, it's time to thank the supporter of today's video. Oh, and I almost forgot to pet Frenchie and Ron. Well, not as much as Ron, but definitely Frenchie. And that huge thanks, my friends, is going to go to Evie Demon over on the YouTube. Thank you so much for your amazing support and supporting me on YouTube, actually becoming a member here on YouTube. And if you're interested in becoming a member, all you gotta do is check out that join button that is right next to that subscribe button. So if you've already clicked that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, might as well check out that join and see if that's something you're interested in. We do have sub-servers, supporter servers, so if you're interested in playing some Minecraft with some other peeps, be sure to join the Discord, discord.gg/ChosenArchitect, where we do have over 26,000 members, in which you can definitely find somebody to play with. There's always somebody hunting for somebody to play with. So guys, I appreciate you. Don't play alone. Of course, find somebody to play with. Come on, you join the Discord. And as always, guys, of course, thanks for watching. And you thought the end smelled bad? Oh, God. This guy is awful smelling.